and it is batteries included, which is a standard distribution includes many modules, and it is dynamic typed, and source can be compiled or run just, and it is similar to Perl, TCL, and Ruby. Why Python? It is unlike AML and even new. There is a considerable base of developers already using the language. Uh, tried and try tried and true language that has been in developed since 19. It can interface with the component object model, which is COM used by Windows, and it can interface with open source GIS toolsets. Then next topic is Python interfaces. First is ideally, it is a cross-platform Python development environment, and then Python window. It is a window only interface to Python, and Python shell. It is running Python from the command line. Opens this interactive shell.
પછી
For exercise, we will use ideally, but you can try them all and pick a favorite. Uh, sir. Hello, sir.
હા, કંઈક ઓડિયોમાં પ્રોબ્લેમ થયો હતો વચ્ચે. ઓડિયો બરાબર દેખાતું સંભળાતું નહોતું. સ્લાઇડ તો બરાબર દેખાતી હતી, પણ વચ્ચે કંઈક ઓડિયો બ્રેક થઈ ગયો છે.
Hello.
બોલો ને ભાઈ, બોલો બોલો.
Hello, sir. Okay, sir. Ideally helps you program in Python by color coding your program code, debugging, auto insert, and interactive shell. Here is a ideally screenshot which is shows comments are red, strings are green, definitions are blue, keywords are orange, and output is blue. Example of Python, when we print hello world, print double inverted comma into hello world, print hello world to standard out, follow along using ideally. Here is screenshot of it. Then string method assigns a string to a variable. In this case, double inverted comma hw dot title, which is title hw, which hw means hello world. hw dot upper double bracket, એમાં hw hello world ને upper case માં convert કરશે. hw dot is digit and hw dot is lower. hw dot is digit એટલે કે digit છે એને કન્ફર્મ કરશે, અથવા તો hw is lower છે તો lower માં કન્ફર્મ કરશે. Then string methods, the string held in your variable remains the same, and the method returns and altered string, and it changing the variable requires reassignment. hw is equal to hw dot upper. hw now allows hello world, which means upper. When we apply upper, it is convert in uppercase. Other Python objects, which is list is variable is equal to cross bracket has comment create list. variable is equal to 1, 2, 3 banana, which is include number, variable, and then tuple. Tuple it is immutable sets. Variable is equal to curve bracket 1, 2, 3 banana. It is in curve bracket and list is in square bracket. Then dictionaries, it is associative arrays or hashes. Variable is equal to bracket create dictionary, and then bracket dictionary lat gem 14.20547, and then lon gem minus 74.76322, and then we apply variable cross bracket uh, single unit comma lat, and it shows the value of lat. Each has its own set of methods. List of methods adding to the list variable bracket of n is equal to object. Replace n with object, and we can so variable bracket માં n હોય ત્યારે આપણે object ને n સાથે replace કરી શકીએ. And next variable dot append circle bracket માં object adds object to the end of the list. and list ના end માં જ્યારે object add કરવું હોય ત્યારે variable dot append bracket માં object નાખે ત્યારે list ના end માં add થઈ જાય. Removing from the list variable cross bracket n is equal to cross bracket empties contents of card but preserves order, and then variable dot remove of n, remove card at n. Variable dot removes and returns its value. Then tuples, like a list, tuples are iterable arrays of objects. Tuples are immutable, once created and unchangeable. To add or remove items, you must redeclare. Example uses of tuples, which is country names, land use names, order set of functions. Then dictionaries are set of key and value pairs. Allows you to identify values by a descriptive name instead of order in a list. Keys are unordered unless explicitly sorted, and keys are unique. Variable bracket માં item is equal to apple. Variable bracket માં item is equal to banana. Print variable bracket item, print just banana. Indentation and blocks. Python uses white space and idents to denote blocks of code. Lines of code that begin a block end in a colon. Lines within the code block are indented at the same level. To end a code block, remove the indentation. You will want blocks of code that run only when certain conditions are met. Then next is conditional branching. If and else branching. If variable equal to condition, comment is do something based on v is equal to c. V is stands for variable and c is stands for condition. Else hashtag do something based on v does not equal to c. Then else if allows for additional branching if condition, else if another condition, and then statement and else. Comment is none of the above. Looping with for. When we looping with for allows you to loop over a block of code a set number of times. For is great for manipulating lists. A is equal to bracket માં cat window defense state. For x in a print x or and length of x results cat 3, Windows 6, and Defense State 12. It shows digit of every number, every word. Looping with for, we could use a for loop to perform geoprocessing task on each layer in a list. We could get a list of feature in a feature class and loop over each, checking attributes. Anything in a sequence or list can be used in a for loop. Just to be sure not to modify the list while looping. Then modules are accessed using import system uh, uh, OS, which is imports to modules. Modules can have subsets of function. OS.path is a subset within OS. Modules are then addressed by module name dot function system.argv, which is list of arguments. File name is equal to os.path dot split text bracket point dot txt, which is file name bracket 1, it equals to bracket dot txt. What is a programming language? A programming language is somewhat like a natural language, but within a very limited set of statements and strict syntax rules. It has a statement to implement sequential, conditional, and interactive processing algorithms. Examples: Fortran, COBOL, Lisp, Basic, Pascal, C++, Java, CSTag, Python, and many more. Compiler. A compiler is a program that converts a program written in a programming language into a program in the native language called machine language of the machine that is to execute the program. From algorithm to hardware with compiler. First, we have algorithm, then it is execute in a program, and then it's translate in a real computer. Three kinds of error. First is syntax error. Some statement in the program is not a legal statement in the language. And second is runtime error. It is an error occurs while the program is executing, causing the program terminate. It is divided by 0 and it's extra. Logic error. It is the program executes to completion but gives incorrect results. Then interpreter, and an alternative to a compiler is a program called an interpreter. Rather than convert our program to the language of the computer, the interpreter takes our program one statement at a time and executes a corresponding set of machine instructions. Here is a first we have edit, then it's first we input some values, and then it is goes in a interpreter syntax or runtime errors, and then output we can edit in interpreter. Python is a real world production language that is freely available for the most computers. Here is a link for it. And if you want to copy of Python to use with this course, go to this course. And I am using JES Python environment for students, which has a lot of special multimedia functionality. This textbook covers a limited amount of Python. There are many excellent online tutorials. For example, see, here is I provides a link for your reference. Python uses an interpreter. Not only can we write compliant programs, we can work with the interpreter in statement by statement mode enabling us to experiment quite easily. Python is especially good for our purpose in that it does not have a lot of overhead before getting started. Python is easy to jump in and experiment with Python in an interactive. Then language terminology. First is syntax. Syntax is the formal rules for the legal statements in the language. And then semantics. It is the meaning of the statement. What happens when the statement is executed. Three major control construction of programming. First is sequential. Simply do steps one after the other in order they are listed. Then conditional, it is decides which statement to do next based on some true or false tests. Iterative, it is a set of statement is repeated over and over until some condition is met. Some